Hi there, this is Sue Stapp. I am coming to you from North Carolina to show you the June paper pumpkin. Now I know it's July 11th and I'm a little behind. I've had a few setbacks here and taken up a lot of my time lately. So I'm glad to be back in stamping mode and doing a paper pumpkin video. I apologize that it's so late, but I'm sure you'll be glad you stuck around and watched. So this month's paper pumpkin for June 2023 is called Welcome In. And you may have seen this already on some other demonstrator sites. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what's in the kit, and then I'm going to pause the video and come back and give you some alternative options that I have created. Every month you get a Stampin' Spot, and that's just one mini version of our ink pad. And this month it's called Night of Navy. It's been around for a while. It's one of my favorites. It's dark navy blue, as you would suspect. This is a stamp set this month, and this subscription gets you a stamp set each month and one of the Stampin' Spots, and then a box of materials to make the cards. And this says welcome, this says thank you for your hospitality, you're invited, friend, and then it has a big vase and a bouquet. So, I can think of several different things to make with this. This is the kit here, and it gives us a list of everything that's in here. And I see we have some of our wonderful tear and tape in here. And that is the double-sided adhesive that you don't have to use scissors on like some other brands, and you actually just tear off how much you need and tape it to your project. So this is the kit. And let me get some of this out of the way. I don't need the cardboard that they send to reinforce it. Now, this monthly subscription comes right to your house, and it's under $25 a month, and you get a wonderful assortment of products. And this month, each month, you get a instruction sheet, and that's what this is, and it shows the kits that you can make with this set. And you can make additional things because these stamps are yours to use on any projects that you design. And you can also stretch these a little bit in some ways. Then I'll show you how I did that as we go along. And inside there's instructions for each of the 3 cards. And you can see that it's pretty detailed, 1, 2, 3. And then on the back, there are some alternative suggestions, and it tells you that you can go to Paper Pumpkin's site, paperpumpkinhowto.com, and watch detailed instructions for this kit. This kit components include the materials to make 9 cards and 9 envelopes. And one of the best things that I like about Stampin' Up! Is that everything coordinates. The cardstock, the ink, everything. And it gives you some ideas of what colors would coordinate with these materials. Aside from the Night of Navy, they have Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, Cypress Coral, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, and Old Olive. So let's see what we've got here. Again, these are the kits that we can make this month. This is the tear and tape. And we have some little enamel dots in here. Now these are our Stampin' Dimensionals, and they give dimension to your item that you want to highlight on your card. They are double-sided, and they come off really easy. I don't have to struggle with these like some other brands that I've used in the past. Oh, these are pretty envelopes. So the envelopes are also detailed with the cardstock. So that's a pretty edition. And then you have some tear outs that you can use on the cards that they've already stamped for you. And that's nice to put the kits together. And then you can use the stamp sets to add additions to it or create more fun cards. And there's 3 sheets of those. Here is cardstock that matches the envelopes. And everything comes scored and ready for you to start your card. See how pretty those are matched up? And this is the new boho blue. I really like it a lot. There are 3 of those cards. And then we have 3 of these cards. And these cards use the Calypso coral as an accent, which coordinates nicely with the blue. And again, they come scored for you. You're going to fold them right on the crease. And then these are the beautiful pop-outs that they have that you can use for them. And then the third one uses the Night of Navy background for the cardstock. And you get 3 of those. And again, creased for you, ready to go. And there's additional pop-outs that are more of the flowers. And then this one says Hello Friend, and it has spots for you to fill in the pots and color them as you would like. So there's 3 sheets of those too. And then we have additional pop-outs that we can use for the banners and sentiments on the cards. And that's the Calypso Coral. This is the Boho Blue, or Balmy Blue. Looks a little brighter than Boho, so it must be balmy. And this is for small sentiments, and it has a little yellow trim on it, which is nice. So that's the materials. I'm gonna pause the camera and come back and show you. I'll do one of each of these that are this month's kits, and then I will do some alternatives for you. Again, I'm Sue Stapp. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in North Carolina. I can help you, assist you with your Stampin' Up! Needs anywhere in the United States. You can find my 24/7 store at suestapp.stampinup.net, and you can email me at suestapp1@gmail.com, and my website is suestapp.com. So stay tuned for more. Hi there, this is Sue Stapp back with you, and I have some completed projects for you. This month's paper pumpkin, which is called Welcome In. I don't know if you can see that, June of 2023. And this is a subscription product that you can sign up for on my website. And the way it is, it comes to your home, a complete set of all the materials needed to make whatever that month's cards are. Now this month the cards happen to be 9 cards, 3 of each design. And these are the 3 designs that I'm going to show you. And these are the ones that there's instructions for, and all of the materials, the paper, the stamps, and even the ink. You get a small Stampin' Spot, which is our mini stamp head. And each month you get a new one, so you get a variety of colors throughout the year. And you'll have a set of 12 at the end of the year. So I would encourage you to sign up for the full year. There is discounted prices available. Excuse me. These are the 3 that Stampin' Up! Designed and have provided all of the materials for. This is just a white inside, but it has the same print on the back. And I'll show you what I did. I take the cards apart and I have 2 pieces of the design. So that's what I did on a couple of them. This is another one, and it says Hello Friend, and the vase of flowers. Now this one has our material that makes the Stampin' Dimensionals, which is our 2-sided adhesive back tools that we use to raise things up. And you can see that on this here, it's strips. Now the typical ones are little octagon shapes or hexagon shapes. I'll show you what those look like. And they are one of my favorite things that Stampin' Up! Has. And before I got involved with Stampin' Up! Or knew about their products, I had bought some at a craft store that were nearly impossible to pick apart. These come apart so easy. You can just pick off the outside and they come right off the backing here. So see how that sticks so nice? And if you take too many off, they just stick back on here. So again, what came in the kits this month, along with the small pack of the dimensionals, are the strips. Now they work the same way, and they're very good. They're very sticky. The card that they are used on, I just showed you, has that look where it's raised all the way around the shape. So that's why the strips are in there. And this is the third card. It says welcome. And I think this is nice. You could use this for someone who's new to your neighborhood or new to your club. If you belong to a, I play cards with a group of ladies, and if there's someone new, I could always do that. But if there's someone that you would like to send a card and welcome them, this would be a great one to use. Okay, now I'm going to show you the creations that I made, and then I'll show you my leftover stuff that I could still create with. Now, I used 2 pieces of Night of Navy cardstock to make this, and I used 1 piece of the Calypso Coral. So all the things I'm showing you are made with either white cardstock that I already had cut up, or those 2 things, or pieces of the cut up envelopes, or the pieces that they have in the kits. So this one just says, thank you for your hospitality. This would be great for if you're going to someone's house for dinner, or if you're going for the weekend, or if you're meeting them and going on a day-long outing or whatever, and they've invited you. This would be a great thing to do. Now this is using the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. That's on our clearance rack right now, and if you haven't checked out the clearance rack lately, you want to do that because they've added a bunch of new things this past week. Now these flowers and the stems and the vase were in the stamp set that we got this month, and you can tell that I've used mine because they're discolored. These are photopolymer and they're clear, and once you stamp with them, they do dye your from the ink. And you can tell that I've used the Calypso Coral, and I've used the Night of Navy. This was green. So, but it doesn't affect how they stamp. And Stampin' Up! Stamps, that's not a tongue twister, are the best stamping product out there. I have tried other stamps, and they just stamp beautifully every time. This is one that I made with strips that were cut off of the pieces that I used, and I just made a card out of it. Now, what I like about Stampin' Up! Is it gets my creative juices flowing. It's not just a box with 9 card kits in it. It's an opening for you to open your mind and get creative and look at the things, and you'd be surprised what we come up with. I could just go on and on with these things, but that's the first one. Here's another one. Now you'll recognize this as the shape that's in the card kit that's already has these dotted lines around it. And this is one of the vases that is already prepared this way. Now these are stamped from the kit, from the stamps that are here. And I just put 1 on each side. I put the welcome up here. Did you know that Stampin' Up! Has white ink pads? We do, and they stamp pretty good. That's just one-time stamping. I didn't go over it with a pen, and I added some pearl dots at the bottom. Now this one, I took some of this paper that I like so much, and I cut it up into pieces. I made a couple of strips. I put the welcome message here, and I put a flower on each side. Again, this flower are the stamp sets. The white dots I did with a white pen. You'll see I got a little anxious to move the card and made a little smudge, but I can touch that up with some Night of Navy marker. And this one is, I used the Calypso Coral Flower pattern. I colored in the leaves, the green color, and used a scrap of paper and stamped this. Now I have a couple of stamp sets that are just, you can't live without them. I can't live without them. One of them is called Go-To Greetings, and it has your basic greetings in 3 different fonts and 3 different sizes. And I love this set. I use it all the time. So that's a great one. It's one of the red rubber stamp ones, and I know a lot of people prefer those. So if you're thinking about a stamp set, this might be a good one to get. So I cut this out and just glued this. I cut the strips off here. It's on a white cardstock, nothing special. This one I made some, I cut in a Z-fold, and you've all seen these, I assume. If you haven't, get in touch with me and I'll tell you how to make them. So what I did on here was I used a ribbon die that I had in my stash, and I cut out the paper and I put it on a piece of the Mango Melody cardstock. I have a blue strip here and I have a blue strip here. On this strip, I put 3 of the urns that came pre-stamped in the kit. And I used the Thinking of You. Now this one I went a little crazy. I got 6, 7, 8 of the dots on there. But I think they look cute on the ribbon and at the top and bottom of this card. Now here's another one that's just a note. And I used the yellow piece that came in the kit and the Just a Note stamp again from that beautiful stamp set. And I cut out using a die and put that in the middle. Now here's another one. This one uses the Hello Friend. This is the Calypso Coral piece that I cut up. Maybe I only used one of the Night of Navy, but regardless. This is the Calypso Coral piece, and I have some ribbon in my stash. And this is the Hello Friend that came pre-printed in our kits. And there was 3 of those, and I just used one of them on here, and I put the Calypso Coral, I just put dots around it to make it look like it's a special sign. Now, this last one I want to show you is one that I did another fun fold. I like to use special folding in my card making. This is a birthday card, and believe it or not, the happy birthday is from what? Go-To Greetings. Yep, I just love that. What I did was I took it, I stamped it, and then I cut it in half. It has enough space between the Y and the B to do that. And what I did on the inside was I opened it up this way and I cut a string, and I've seen other demonstrators who have used this. I guess I got this a little before it was dry, but this is little lanterns. And I use the die cuts from one of my other favorite sets. It's called Irresistible Blooms. And I like it for a couple of reasons. The sentiment says, hooray, it's your day. And you have plenty of space to write down here or over here, or you can always write on the backs of the cards. And so this is a gatefold. And I did put those on with a little dab of glue on a piece of baker's twine. So that is my alternative options for you tonight. And again, the June paper pumpkin is called Welcome In. And if you're interested, there might be some of these still available. I know that several demonstrators order a couple of them, and if they don't use both of them in their classes, then they will sell them. So if you're interested, but if you want to get in on next month's paper pumpkin, let me give you a clue. It's called Fun in the Sun, and it looks like it's going to have surfboards and waves and crabs and starfish and all kinds of fun stuff. It says slather on the sunscreen and dust off those surfboards because it's time for fun in the sun. Paper pumpkin. With bright sunny colors and beach themed die cuts, you'll be able to create cards that show off your summer fun as soon as the surf's up. So again, now if you want to join the Paper Pumpkin, you have to sign up before the 10th of August to get the August Paper Pumpkin. No, yeah, this was the June. I have July coming in the mail right now. In fact, I was a little behind in getting June out. But if you want the August one, you have to sign up before August 10th. And you do have a little bit of time, but mark it on your calendar and don't forget. I do that sometimes. That's why I keep my calendar right by me. Oh, I didn't show you what my leftovers were. So I told you that you can use the tools and everything in the kit as you desire. These were all the envelopes. We have 9 envelopes. But these are all of the extras that I have left over. And you can see I didn't use a lot of these that are really pretty. I mean, this could be on that Calypso Coral. And I'll tell you this again, I've told you many times, and I hope you don't get tired of hearing it, but one of the nice things about Stampin' Up! Is that all of our papers and inks and ribbons all coordinate. Even those little navy blue enamel dots, everything coordinates, and you can't go wrong because you can add any of these colors in. All of these, there's Calypso Coral, this is probably the new Lolly Lemon, this looks like Old Olive, this is, I think it's our dark brown, which is Evening Espresso, and the navy blue that's around the outside here. So there's any of those colors that you could do additional cards with. Now I did cut out one piece of that DSP and cut it into pieces, and I use that in several places, but I still have these 3 big pieces here, and I can always pull out some cardstock and create some more cards. But I wanted to not make this video terribly long, but if you're interested, go to my website. My 24/7 store is suestapp.stampinup.net. My email is suestapp1@gmail.com, and my website is suestapp.com. So you can go any of those places and get more information, and that's how you can get in touch with me also. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, or if you're interested in more information on Stampin' Up, I'd be happy to share that with you. But that's all for tonight, and happy stamping.